Hello everybody on the internet watching, and welcome to the third game of week 1 of the Totally Normal Football League. I'm TG, and this game is between the Michigan Hellcats and the San Francisco Shitbirds. Hello everybody in the live Twitch chat watching. I hope you're having a great night. This should be an interesting game between these two teams. The Shitbirds with a lot to prove. Their defense looks fantastic. The Shitbirds won the opening coin toss, and so Michigan has been chosen to have first possession of the game. It'll be about whether or not the offense can live up to how good the defense is on the Shitbirds, and the Hellcats are expected to utilize their running game as Ben Sports makes it past the 30. So Alex Fops and the Michigan Hellcats will have the first possession of the game. Alex Fops, an incredible quarterback, and he's got a great receiving core to light it up with, and he's going to go immediately in the shotgun for this first play of the game, throws it to the flat, but unfortunately, Jason Grunge needed to go out of bounds to catch that, slightly overthrown, and while Alex Fops has been at least great in the past, he's been having a bit of a problem recently in the preseason, evidently now, about overthrowing passes. Just a little bit too much in the juice department. Hand off to Ace Ducey, off tackle run. Try to get past. He's still going. None of the Shitbirds converging on him as he trips over Clint McSpeedy, and that's going to be a big run for Ace Ducey. And I feel like that is going to be Ace Ducey's, or I feel like that's going to be the Hellcats' secret weapon is Ace Ducey, as the Shitbirds look like absolute ballhawks in the preseason. It's a play-action pass to the flat, double covered is Robin Banks, and that's slapped out of bounds. But I feel like the Hellcats are going to be the Hellcats, and they're going to throw the ball here. But I feel like the key to success today is going to be Ace Ducey and just run the defensive line of the Shitbirds into the ground. They've got Max Geigenham do the Shitbirds, number 51 middle linebacker there. He was drafted to help with the run stop, and look at that immediately. Paul McGormick did his best to try and block Max Geigenham, but he was able to shed the block in a way that got right in Ace Ducey's face and stopped the run for not a big gain. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Hellcats. Roy Burley in as the running back. Fopp stepping back to throw. Throws it quick. Robin Banks, the rookie, takes it to the 40. First down, Hellcats. And Isaiah Cleverbottom not happy about letting that one go. Fresh set of downs for the Hellcats as they're now in Shitbirds territory. Roy Burley still in. He's going to receive the off-tackle handoff. Great blocking from the line. He gets 10 yards past the 30. We'll see where the referee spotted his knees. This might be inches away for a first down. Yes, it's going to be a yard away from a first down. The Hellcats cleanly at the 30. Fops moving this offense well downfield on this first possession of the game. Wayne T-Block showing pressure up front. Burley gets the short run up the middle past the 30 for a first down. And Olatoya Jr. already complaining to the refs about holding calls not being called, I should say. So the Hellcats on the Shitbirds 28. And off to Ace Ducey, and well spotted by Max Geigenham, the rookie middle linebacker, and that is stopped. If the if the Shitbirds can use Max Geigenham and their linebackers to really stuff the Hellcats' runs, that's going to get Alex Fops to throw more, and with how many interceptions we saw the Shitbirds get in the preseason, that might get them opportunities to get their offense out on the field. Ducey attempting another run, and Ace Ducey's injured his ankle! One of the key players for this matchup is limping off the field. This is terrifying news for the Hellcats. There are so many teams in the TNFL right now that are at their salary cap with the minimum number of players, And I feel like if any one of them have a huge injury, they are going to be at a bad time trying to find the money to hire somebody else to replace them. Alex Fobbs to the outside. Great catch there by number 16. Nelson Codmore getting inside of Chad Candy. That is not an easy pass to make. Chad Candy has just been I keep saying the word, but a ball hawk all throughout the season. Fresh set of downs at the 10 for the Hellcats. We'll hopefully get word back from Ace Ducey. Roy Burley up the left side. He'll get 7 yards past the 5 before being stopped by Justin Truths. We haven't got word yet, which usually means that it was a minor injury. Jordan Mycock now in as the running back. Outside toss, and Mycock goes right into Silva Goldman on the cornerback blitz for a loss. So, Jordan Mycock's first official handoff in the season. Ace Ducey just sprained his ankles. He will return. The Hellcats breathe a sigh of relief. It is not a major injury as Alex Fobbs steps back to throw, and he gets an easy touchdown to veteran Jeremy B for 6 points, and the Hellcats are on the board. Good news followed by great news as the Hellcats score in the first quarter. At least for them, these Shitbird fans are nonplussed about the whole affair. Six-yard touchdown pass to Jeremy B. Ben Cowjet to kick the extra point. And the kick is good. So I've been running my mouth about this Shitbirds offense, and now it is their time to either make me shut up or, you know, further ridicule is always an option. Ben Cowjet to kick. Big kick. Number 49, Chad Candy returning the ball. He gets it to the 20. Ball spotted on the 19. Now Jalen Rundle Jr. Little Jalen is going to start off this drive. He's going to step back to throw immediately. He's rolling out of the pocket. Gets a nice crossing route to number 18. That's Trent Jabidi, the rookie wide receiver, number 3. And an excellent first play from the Shitbirds. That's a first down catch. Shitbirds at their own 30. James Dingle, the lone back, with 2 tight ends in the set. Dingle gets the handoff, but number 94, that's Toby Wrightyson, second-year Hellcat defensive end, stops the run. Dingle falling forward, getting the ball for no gain. Well stopped there by the Hellcats. 2nd and 10, still for the Shitbirds. Dingo and Stickler in the backfield. Dingo on the counter run up the right side, and he's got a clear field ahead of them. Nothing but pancaked Hellcats, but coming up from behind is DeMarcus Bacon, who stops the run. There, as we see Oliver Holmes absolutely bowl over Scott Kernelpop, middle linebacker. And if James Dingo definitely had a rough run there through so many bodies, but he just kept it going for a huge amount of yards. The Shitbirds almost at the 40-yard line now. Nick Pacer in to relieve him. Pacer runs through the B gap. Gets about 1.5 yards before being pushed over. The refs are going to call it 3 yards. The Shitbirds pass the 3-yard line, and we're already at the end of the first quarter. Very consistent play so far from both teams. The Hellcats capped off their first possession with a touchdown. Now the Shitbirds are moving down the field as well. Nick Pacer down the middle of the field gets a good run through the middle. DeMarcus Bacon once again having to catch up behind the running back and tackle him down. Scott Kernelpop was absolutely ran over there by Nick Pacer. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and short for the Shitbirds. Pacer in is then the lone back. He's going to get the handoff, off tackle, run in a little bit of trouble and can't turn up upfield. It's no good. And so we'll see if the Shitbirds go for it here or not. They're past the 50 on a 4th and inches play, and they will get their punter out, Tommy Tatum, to punt away this possession. A damn shame. Tatum's just going to line drive it. We'll see if it's got any spin on it. Gary on Downston doing his best to try and catch up with the punt, but not enough backspin on it. Goes into the end zone for a touchback, and now the Hellcats get their 2nd possession of the game, starting from their 20-yard line. Fops did a wonderful job moving the ball both through the air and by handing it off to Ace Ducey and Roy Burley. And Ace Ducey, back from a sprained ankle, play action pass, Jeremy B has a breakaway, and he's tackled at the Shitbirds 30, a huge, gotta be a 50-yarder. Silva Goldman just barely unable to keep up with him, and B gets enough separation to get the over-the-shoulder catch. But Goldman bringing him down at the 30, so it's not going for a touchdown, at the 25 actually. So a big gain here from Alex Fops, and they're already in field goal range. And off to Ace Ducey, who gets a really good amount of yardage there, fighting off Clint McSpeedy. Second and 4, 6 yards on the run. Hellcats squarely at the 15, or the 25, pardon me. No, the 20. One of those numbers. Ducey up for a first down past the 15. They're all just numbers to me. They're all meaningless. So the Shitbirds defense look like they're just having trouble on all fronts here, just being nickel and dimed here, and Fops just blew them out big with that Jeremy B bomb. Fops in the shotgun now in the red zone, throws it to the corner for Jeremy B, but great work there by Silva Goldman to tip away the pass. As we get the slow motion shot. So we'll see if the Shitbirds can hold the Hellcats to a field goal, or perhaps they can get Alex Fops to throw on a 3rd down. Lots of pressure. The tackle box loaded up here by the Shitbirds. Fops throwing it to the corner route. Gets it to Jeremy B, but his right foot didn't stay in bounds. Was unable to tap his toes. That's going to be a 3rd down. So Alex Fops is more than likely looking to throw it into the end zone on this one. The Shitbirds spread wide across the field to try and prevent that. Fops looking for somebody open. Flood play. Everyone moving to the right, trying to get it to the corner. But a great little 360 no-scope tap away from Gary on Downson breaks up the pass, and the Hellcats will have to come out with their field goal unit. This should be easy pickings for Ben Cowjet. He's made almost 60-yard field goals in his career. And you can't get any more on target than that. The kick is good. The Hellcats up 10-0 here, as we're just about halfway through the 2nd quarter. That drive aided by a bomb pass from Alex Fops to Jeremy B. Ben Cowjet kicks it out to Chad Candy. He runs it up the right side, picks up a block, but can't pick up another one, but he'll do a couple yards better than a touchback as the Shitbirds get the ball at the 21. And by a couple, I mean a singular yard better than a touchback. One injury scare already this game. Ace Ducey had a sprained ankle but was able to come back from it. A rather short affair. Draw play to James Dingo doesn't go very well, as he's stopped by DeMarcus Bacon. But as I said before, every GM in the TNFL right now is sort of holding their breath that they don't get a season-ending injury from any of their players. So many of the teams are right at the minimum player limit, which is how expensive everyone has gotten. And so an injury means they'll have to let another one of their players go to pick up somebody dirt cheap to fill their role. Rundle Jr. looking for a corner route, tries to get it to the tight end. That's Nick Showers, but slightly thrown out of bounds, and it's knocked incomplete. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 11 for Rundle Jr., who's standing in the shotgun. Throws it outside route intended for Ma'ato, but again, it's thrown out of bounds. So both quarterbacks having issues with judging where to throw it along the sidelines. That's going to result in the Shitbirds' second punt of the game. Tommy Tatum punts it deep. Ben Sports at the 35 brings it to almost the 50 before being tackled down. Jason DeFlanger. Veteran Shitbird there on the defensive play. And yeah, the Hellcats will get the ball at the 50, so great field position for Fops to keep the pace up and really take it. Oh, that was a weirdo throw. It was a play action, but Fops made like a really short throw. I don't know who that was to. It was over the offensive line, but it was like down at the ground. So whatever plan they had for that play immediately broke down. Hey, Stussy with 2 tight ends. It's another play action thrown to the right side, and that kind of play is the kind of play that Chad Candy has just eaten up so far in the preseason, is those corner routes. Chad Candy's ability to just pick off those balls that are just slightly off the on target of the wide receiver. Got to be careful about those, Fops. 3rd and 10 at the 50. Fops, everyone going big. A possession catch from Robin Banks, but it's thrown behind the sticks, and that brings up a 4th down. And on a 4th and 3, in enemy territory, the Hellcats punt it. Ben Cowjet is an amazing kicker, but he's not quite a miracle worker, so the Hellcats are just going to opt to punt it right for a touchback. So the Shitbirds doing a great job so far. It's preventing any further damage. But now they've got to get the board. They got to get points on the board themselves here. 3 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first half here in San Francisco. James Dingo and Stickler in the backfield, but Rundle will throw. He'll move around. An amazing outside run to number 17. That's Pierre Dumoulin, who's taken up Andy Overnight's old number. The former tight end and 3rd-year San Francisco Shitbirdian. Dingo the lone back. It's another play action. Rundle again looking for the outside, but blinked away by number 57, Scott Colonel Pop, who was covering the tight end on that one. Pass intended again for Nick Showers. 2nd and 10, the Shitbirds at their 34-yard line. Dingo with 2 tight ends, and he's going to take the draw play up the middle. Going to be good for 3 yards. Scott Colonel Pop really being tested in this game. He's been run over just as much as he's been doing the run-overing, if that is such a thing to do to somebody. And Colonel Pop brings up a 3rd and 6 here. The Shitbirds looking for somebody open, backing up, not a lot of pressure. He'll throw it deep to a double-covered Dumoulin, and that's easily picked off by Gary Osiris. That's not Dumoulin, my apologies. That's Trent Jabidi on the go route. And yeah, Gary Osiris and Jonathan's Big Grande couldn't be any closer to him than that. And so, while the Shitbirds do turn it over, it's at the Hellcats' 15-yard line way downfield. So it's not the worst as, considering what we saw in the opening game last Tuesday's doubleheader. Interceptions can get way worse than that as we hit the 2-minute warning with the Hellcats still up 10-0 and at their own 15-yard line. We'll see if the Hellcats continue to keep the pressure up, or it's a play action, throw to the outside, and again, it's only a matter of time before Alex Fops misthrows one of these throws to Robin Banks, who's being covered by Chad Candy. Chad's going to eat your heart up if you keep testing that matchup, especially if you've got one-on-one with not a lot of separation. They're going to give it to Ace Ducey. Off-tackle run is only good for about 2 yards. The Hellcats trying to get a couple of yards before having to punt it, and they don't get too many. The Shitbirds use their first of 3 timeouts to pause the clock at 1:47 remaining. Richard stretch pull with his first punt of the game. That's a lie, but... Oh, and it wasn't a great punt either. Shanked it way to the left, and the Shitbirds are going to have amazing field position at midfield at their own 49-yard line. And so Rundle Jr. will take command of the offense once more. High snap, and it's a repeat from the preseason. The high snap from Ray Lazar III, the center, and Rundle Jr. just isn't high enough, and his jump stat isn't 99 enough to catch those wild snaps. It's picked up by the Hellcats, and now it's pressure at the Shitbirds' 31-yard line. Fops in the shotgun, looking to make the deficit worse. He's got Robin Banks on the crosser past the 25. This is sort of the worst case scenario for the Shitbirds. This happened to them in that last preseason game. The warning signs were all there. But the Shitbirds management was convinced it was just a freak accident and that Ray Lazar, which truthfully he's been amazing for most of his career. Fops play action, throws it to the corner to a double covered Jeremy B. That's knocked out of bounds. And there is truth to that. Ray Lazar was a very consistent center all throughout Season 2, and it's only been recently he's been having a couple of weird center snaps. But honestly, we've seen a lot of weird center snaps from the whole league. The Rollers had a couple in their game against the Beefers last week, but Bud Beaglesworth being like the size of the Statue of Liberty. Alex Fops to the corner, intercepted by Chad Candy, who shakes off a tackle to the 30, to the 40, tackled down by linesman Gabriel Menace, and I tried warning Fops. I tried warning that if you're trying to force that Robbins Banks Chad Candy matchup that you're going to be bit, and finally Candy comes up with an interception. 1 minute remaining on the clock. The Shitbirds at their own 40-yard line. Rundle Jr. passing over the middle, trying to get it to the rookie as it bounces off his hands twice while being double covered. Well, that was a double covered Trent Jabidi downfield. He almost came up with it. Give him credit. But Rundle Jr. really trying to force it now, as it seems that frustration is really getting to this team. 55 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 at the Shitbirds' 40-yard line. Rundle in the pocket, throws it to an open Henry Winnings. It's about an 8 to 7 yard completion. The Shitbirds using their second timeout. They're past the 45. Rundle with this 3rd down conversion. The Shitbirds have not made a 3rd down yet this game. Out of their 3 attempts, and that's an easy one to Henry Winnings past the Hellcats 45. And Gary Osiris has injured his elbow on the play. Oh no, dude. The Hellcats had so many problems with an injured safety core in Season 2. And hopefully it'll just be another sprain that he'll be back soon. Rundle Jr. over the middle. It's complete to James Dingo at the 20. At the 10, a missed tackle. Touchdown, Shitbirds. And just like that, safety Gary Osiris goes down and Jalen Rundle Jr. takes advantage of it. But that was almost snatched up by Jonathan Biggs Grande. But Dingo on the halfback reception. Incredible stuff, and this Shitbirds crowd is back on their feet. Ken Fudge gets the extra point, and the Shitbirds bring the deficit within 3. With the Hellcats leading 10-7 with 41 seconds to play in this first half. Yeah, that's sort of the narrative with the Hellcats. It's being brought up in chat that they are the unluckiest team in the league. Alex Fops and his passing offense in Season 2 looked outstanding until Burt McStabs, their safety, went down, and then Ken Knapp also went down. They had to get Johnny Talladega, the former quarterback, to play safety for them. They picked up Talladega from the offseason, and then Fops himself went out for the rest of the season. But on Ben Sports fumbles the ball, but it's going to be a face masking from Rockhurst. So even if that had been turned over by the Shitbirds, that would have been coming back. So the Hellcats avoid disaster there, and they'll begin at the 40-yard line. Bops, corner route to Robin Banks at the 40. Missed tackle to the 30, at the 20, the 10, and the Hellcats fire right back with their own touchdown. Beautiful corner route there. As Robin Banks, Chad Candy gets caught up in traffic there. He runs into Ahmad Cardsgrave's routes. And that gives Robin Banks just enough separation to get the corner route. The missed tackle also key on that play. And just immediately like that, the Hellcats go blow for blow, looking to return themselves to a 10-point lead. Ben Cowjet out to kick the extra point. And the kick is good. Still no word back about Gary Osiris. Which again is usually good news. Usually the game lets you know within 2 or 3 plays if it's a season ender. Again, this is the second injury scare we've had this game for the Hellcats. They thought that running back Ace Ducey messed up his ankle. It was just a small sprain. He was immediately out playing after being checked up on. And, Justin Truths, the free safety for the Shitbirds, who was on the kick punt return, filling in for Chad Candy, is now being checked on for a possible arm injury. And people are dropping now. Rundle Jr. in the shotgun. Rundle Jr. in trouble, but he gets it to Henry Winnings. Caught at the 40. Justin Truth's dislocated shoulder out for the game. No, dude. Thankfully, it's just dislocated, so that's probably not even remotely season-ending, but he might be out for 1 game, so that puts the Shitbirds in a terrible spot. Rundle Jr. back to pass, throws it to the outside, and that's picked up by JBG. But there's a penalty, a face masking on Ma'auto, bringing down Biggs Grande, and the Hellcats are going to be deep into Shitbirds territory after that one. So Rundle Jr. trying to throw it deep. James Dingo had Jonathan Biggs Grande beat. He was booking it, but the throw was underthrown, and Biggs Grande picked it up for an interception. That's the second interception thrown by the Shitbirds this game. Pops back in the pocket. Corner route for the tight end. Touchdown, Hellcats. And they're really piling it on with Jason Grunge getting the reception for 6. And Ben Cowjet kicks the extra point. So Ben Cowjet will kick it off back to the Shitbirds. It's a squib kick, and this could go out of bounds, and it will. That's a procedure penalty. So the Shitbirds will have 10 seconds to make a miracle happen from their own 40-yard line. Rundle Jr. stepping back to throw. He's got streak routes. Gets it to Dingo up the middle, and they don't have timeouts to pause the clock here. And I saw at least 2 Shitbirds there with full-blown separation. The score right now, the Hellcats 24, the Shitbirds 7. The Shitbirds down 3 scores, but I can no longer say that anything's for certain here in the TNFL after what we just witnessed last Tuesday between the Rollers and the Beefers. So the Shitbirds still have a chance to get back in this one. Chad Candy gets shoved over at the 20. Rundle Jr. draw play to James Dingo that gets about 4 yards. And the Shitbirds really need to start turning it on. There's still loads of time left in the game, but down 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Gotta start motoring here, Rundle. Dumoulin on the move. Hellcats shifting their coverage. Rundle throws it to the outside, gets it to the rookie, Trent Jabidi. About a 7-yard completion, a 3rd and 3. The Shitbirds at their own 26. They need to make it to the 30. Every drive matters. Play action, but he's in trouble, and DeMarcus Bacon gave the Shitbirds no ground there, and Rundle Jr. looking visibly frustrated after that one. And I don't blame him. Tommy Tatum out to punt. Tatum with a good punt to the 40. Ben Sports is going to wait for the wait for the fair catch, as he had a Shitbird barreling down on him. And so the Hellcats will begin their drive from their own 41-yard line. Ace Ducey, the lone back with 2 tight ends. Tamar OK put in motion. Ace Ducey, counter run. Nope, it's a play action, but oh, nice work by Chad Candy. So that was amazing from Clint McSpeedy. Let's watch this here. We're gonna see Chad Candy on the interception, but what I was looking at is look at this pressure from Clint McSpeedy, who gets free. In fact, not only gets free, he absolutely embarrasses Jason Grunge, forces Fops to throw from the sack, and who better to pick it up than Chad Candy, who gets his 2nd interception of the game. The San Francisco Shitbirds defense once again gives the offense an opportunity. Play action. Rundle Jr. trying to get to Dumoulin over big old Ryan tap down. It's a lot like trying to touch pass over a goddamn mountain is throwing over Ryan tap down. The Shitbirds currently at the Hellcats 46-yard line. Rundle Jr. in the shotgun. He's got great plays on the right side. It's caught by Trent Jabidi at the 20 for a big reception and first down. As he and Ma'auto high five. Just inside the red zone are the Shitbirds. We'll see what Rundle does. Dingo looking hungry there in the backfield, but he'll go on a route. Rundle the throw. In trouble, JBG with a big quarterback blitz, forcing the early throw. And it's like a rerun with different colors. A Scott Kirtlepop picks up the interception, boasting after being downed. Oh, I love this. I love this league so much. But the interception giveth and the interception taketh away. Fops and Co. back, starting from their own 16-yard line. A drag route to Jeremy B. just past the 20 for a short reception. And it's been really all Hellcats all day. The Shitbirds defense really trying to give the offense as many chances as possible, but we had the high free snap, or another freak snap from the Shitbirds as Ace Ducey runs for a first down past the 25. And Fopp standing in the shotgun for this first down play, so the Hellcats not lifting off the gas whatsoever. The Shitbirds send 6. Jeremy B gets it past the coverage at the 40, at the 30, at the 20, and the Hellcats keep piling on here in San Francisco. Touchdown, Jeremy B. There was no safety help whatsoever behind that one-on-one matchup, and when Jeremy B had Silva Goldman beat, there was nothing the rookie could do. Ben Cowjet to kick the extra point. The Hellcats have just scored their 31st points of the game. The Shitbirds only have 7. It's a stop here in San Francisco, with the Hellcats having no signs of lifting off the gas. Cowjet, thunderous kick. Chad Candy awaiting at the 2-yard line, gets the pass. He's returning it up the middle. Gets it past the 25 before being brought down by backup safety Calvin Madman. His presence is sorely missed in Kingston, I can tell you that for sure. And Rundle Jr. is now in Super Do or Die mode 64 now. Here, Dumoulin switching sides of the field. Play action. Throwing it over the middle. They get it to Pierre Dumoulin for a 9-yard reception to the 35. And, are you okay there, Kyler Borscht? He was kind of vibrating there. Over the middle, overthrown to a pack of football players of both jerseys. Second and 10, Rundle Jr. in the shotgun at the Shitbirds' 36-yard line. Empty set after audibling Dingo. Going for the one-on-one coverage, but tipped away by Gary Osiris, who is returned. We didn't get a notification as to what his injury was, but it was obviously fairly minor. He's back out playing. Third down for the Shitbirds. Rundle Jr. in trouble. DeMarcus Bacon once again barrels, but there's a flag on the play, and there's defensive pass interference from Trevor Torley-Whirl. Which is a hell of a call after what the hell DeMarcus Bacon was doing. So the Shitbirds just got a free do-over on that one. Dingo on the counter run, but he's smothered by Hellcats on all sides with Ryan Tapdown bringing him down. One-yard tackle for loss. The Shitbirds at their own 47. Rundle looking to pass here. No tight end. It's a 4 wide receiver set. Deep pass to Pierre Dumoulin. Double covered. Tipped away by Trevor Torley-Whirl. And yeah, while Pierre Dumoulin is an excellent athlete, he's strong, he's great at run blocking, but one of the issues is now that he's thrust into a wide receiver role with, you know, the Shitbirds really running out of options of good wide receivers. Rundle Jr. short reception for a 4th down at the 50. James Dingo just isn't tall enough to stick out of the forest of defensive backs who are covering him and safeties out there. You had somebody who is 6'6" even. That pass would have been a lot more logical, but Pierre Dumoulin just looked like he was being taken to the store by his parents. Tommy Tatum goes to punt, sorry. A touchback. We're getting to the point now in the TNFL where every position is just getting so hyper-optimized. You need to have an answer for all of these 6'7" defensive backs and safeties. And not only that, not only do they need to be tall, they also need to have like more than 95 speed to even be viable. Like, the league has really dried up of all those key position players as there's a deep pass to Jeremy B. Silva Goldman misses the tackle, and Jeremy B. keeps piling on the touchdowns as Alex Fops waves to the crowd. And we're starting to see Shitbirds fans leave. We're not even into the 4th quarter yet. That was an 80-yarder to Jeremy B. and Silva Goldman just cannot keep up with the second-year Hellcat wide receiver. And Kowjak kicks another extra point. The most amount of points scored in a singular game, if I remember correctly, was the Stoats with 52 points. Jeremy B., if memory serves, he had the second most reception yards in Season 2. And he's certainly looking to make a record here if Alex Fops keeps feeding him. Chad Candy past almost to the 30. Tackling past Caleb Rentplayer. Nick Pacer, the lone back. You got to think Rundle Jr. is in pass-only mode right now. Tries to throw it deep to Pierre Dumoulin on a crossing route, but every Hellcat knew was up there and converged on the spot he was running to. About 3 people awaiting the pass. And it's knocked incomplete. Shitbirds in utter desperation mode. Pop stepping in. Dingo on the draw play. That's stopped by Toby Wrightyson. And folks, this is just the first game of a doubleheader tonight. Join us in about 15 minutes. We'll have a great rivalry game between the Toronto Trash Pandas and the Kingston Gators. Rundle Jr. in the shotgun, 3rd and 8. Play action. Lots of shit happening, that's for sure. But lots of Hellcats on that blitz. And they are really trying to get to Rundle Jr. and really force him to make those bad throws. And another downside to Rundle Jr.'s low height is that it's much harder for him to throw over all the blitzers. And like DeMarcus Bacon, he's just a Mack truck running at you. And that just makes it easier for the lineman to get a tip away as well. Ben Sports at the 30, catching the punt. He'll make it almost to the 40. But the problems for the Shitbirds here, I feel for the general manager. He has so many hard decisions to make. How can he motivate this crew and scramble around? How do they fix their wide receiver problem? How do they fix Silva Goldman not being super great at covering? Chad Candy's been amazing. And for the most part, Darren Langsdale and Justin Truth, the two safeties, has been good. Justin Truth's out for at least one game with a dislocated shoulder, it said. Ace Ducey up the middle, a big run. And it looks like Alex Fobbs might finally take his foot off the gas. The problem is they haven't really been able to lean heavily on Ace Ducey this game because Ducey he injured his ankle pretty early into this game. So they don't have a 100% Ace Ducey, so Fobbs has really had to do it with his arm. And looking at the score, his arm is working. And play action well spotted there by Jamaha Otungatung. He was trying to amp up what's left of this crowd. That's the end of the third quarter. And the San Francisco Shitbirds, they're in a pickle. But pickles relish now. And it is being served at the concession stand on a hot dog. 38-7. Being led by the visiting Hellcats. Stretch pull, punting it to the left side of the field. Candy waving the fair catch. Good punt there from the Hellcats. That's going to be inside the 15. Actually, at the 10. An amazing punt there from Richard Stretchpole. Outside pitch to James Dingo. No great blocks, however, as Kyler Borscht tackles down James Dingo. Another big thing to remember is that, like, these are mistakes and things you need to learn from, but do you really want to watch games like these back later down the line? Good reception there by Henry Winnings over the middle. I feel like we're going to see a very, very different Shitbirds roster next week. So it should be exciting to see what choices Alex and the Shitbirds do. Great reception there from Pierre Dumoulin, and that might be his first reception of the game for a first down at the 30. Now, that's his second reception for 28 yards, but I think that stat line just says in spades what this team's issues and just are, really. Rundle Jr. has completed only half of his passes for 3 interceptions. And I don't even know what that was. Kyler Borscht showing pressure. Rundle Jr. stepping back. Throws it over. It's caught by Henry Winnings. And that is the kind of thing you need to see from the Shitbirds. You need big men jumping up over defenders to catch passes. Gonna break up a 3rd and short for the Shitbirds. 5 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the half. Rundle Jr. gets a nice crossing route from Kelsey Auto past the 45. Good first down conversion on the crosser. I'll tell you what, this is going to do wonders for the Hellcats' score differential. And they're going to hand it off to James Dingo, who gets it to the 50. Ronaldo Jr. throwing it over. It's tipped away by Scott Colonel Pop. The Shitbirds down 31 points with 4 minutes 39 seconds paused on the clock. That's going to bring up a 4th down. Yeah, Henry Whitting's just sort of shrugging there, not really knowing what to do. What you can do is just your best right now. You still got to go out and play football. You can see what works, what doesn't. Collect your thoughts and go to the drawing board for next week, one game at a time. And there again, the height disadvantages of Rundle Jr. evident there as he's just unable to throw over the mess of bodies in front of him. And so Fops will take back control at the 50-yard line. He's in the shotgun because he's a madman, and he's still throwing it. And he throws an interception to Max Geigenham. What the heck? Okay. Fops is like, what is what? I don't know, man. So the Shitbirds get the ball at the 29. Maybe the Hellcats felt sorry. Alex Fops has actually got a worse completion percentage than Rundle Jr. does at this point, as they hand it off to Phil Stickler for a fullback run. I think at this point you just have to avoid injuries, really. The junior empty set. Great comeback route from Kelsey Ma'ato to the 25. Actually, I want to... one thing I urge you to watch there on that play is that was just a great play there by Oliver Holmes. You had Adam Banks, who got spun on, but Oliver Holmes was able to double team him and give Rundle Jr. just that much more time to complete the pass. And James Dingo with a nice spin, a nice 9-yard run to the 15. I said in the pre-show here on the stream that usually doesn't end up on the YouTube VODs that, oh, nice sack there by Toby Wrightson. I said that this is going to be a statement game from the Shitbirds. Either prove to us that the preseason was just a fluke error and, you know, have faith in the people that you've hired and chose. And it seems that there's still a lot of work to do for the Shitbirds, but if we saw what happened in Season 2, you had both the Seattle Stoats and the Seattle Beefers. They both had awful starts to their Season 2 campaigns. And then they surged late in the second half of the season. The Beefers were able to barely clinch that number 2 spot. Then they beat the Janitors, and then they won the damn Normal Bowl. Nice catch there, but it's a turnover on downs as Nelly Rockhurst had to step over out of Gation Dupuis' coverage. Or step out of the coverage, I should say. And it's another turnover on downs for the Shitbirds. You see play action. Fops, you're insane. It's a catch for Jeremy B, who adds even more yards to his total today. Jeremy B with 220. Oh my god. And yeah, this stadium is quite depressingly quiet. I like how the crowd noise is actually a thing in this game. There is actually home field advantage in NFL Madden 08. As Jeremy B gets another over the middle reception. That's going to bring up the 2-minute warning. Which just makes being the higher seeded team going into the playoff round that much more important. And off to Ace Ducey. That's stopped for a minimal gain by Max Geigenham. And I feel like we're going to see more Ace Ducey runs here. A Shitbirds. A stacked tackle box here. As the Hellcats looking to milk every second off this clock. The Shitbirds have no intention on using any uptime. What? The Hellcats with a false start? Okay. Who the hell slipped by accident? Ace Ducey breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle, gets it past the 30. A minute and 11 seconds remaining on the clock. Bop's still not kneeling. They've got Roy Burley out for this third and second try. Trying to get every yard they can for the stats, I presume. Pops back to throw. And Robin Banks catches it over... Oh my god, Chad Candy. The Fops continuing to pile up the passing yards. And yeah, Jeremy B, 7 catches, 3 of them touchdowns, 223 yards. Oh my lord, and the Hellcats still aren't kneeling. They'll probably ride out the rest of this time. They win by a whopping 31 points. An absolute statement game, and my oh my does the Over Here division look insane. Adam Banks. Let's look at the stats here. Yeah, Alex Fops throwing 97.4. He threw just as many interceptions as Jalen Rundle Jr. did, but 5 passing touchdowns will help bolster that record, and with a 51% completion rating, that's not bad. And yeah, Jalen Rundle Jr., 48% in his passes, but 3 interceptions, and he just couldn't get anything going, it felt like. Henry Winnings was a bright spot for the Shitbirds. I think he's a great tight end, and his size and ability definitely matters a lot for getting those. Just look at this discrepancy in the yards. It's just like Jeremy B, 7 receptions, 223 yards, and then Robin Banks, who has like 130 less. Like, oh my. Okay there. I wonder if we're going to see James Dingo wide receiver. I wonder if that's what the Shitbirds are going to have to do. Have Kelsey Ma'auto and James Dingo aside from one another. And then just run it with, you know, have Pierre Dumoulin back to tight end. And then you'll have to just run with Nick Pacer as a running back, I guess. Nick Pacer isn't too bad. And Christian Bilbert is a little bit of an untested commodity for the Shitbirds. I'm just sort of like building a deck here out loud, but there's still options for the Shitbirds without having to completely upend fire people. But yeah, I think one injury with Justin Truth's out. It's probably only going to be for one game. We'll see. But that's not the end of the world for the Shitbirds, because you have 5 safeties employed for that matter. So, we're probably going to see Gordon Tummyrucker take his spot.